you ever find a mark of red marker on your body, you need to wash it off immediately. You might be wondering, what's the harm in a little redding? The answer lies in a grim legend born in a small, tightly knit town where kindness was a rare commodity and vengeance became an art form. The legend begins with a girl who attended the town's only elementary school. This girl was relentlessly bullied by her peers. Every day was a gauntlet of whispered insults, tripped feet, and ruined projects. The school hallways felt like a hostile maze, and the lunchroom, filled with loud, cruel laughter, was her personal hell. Fortunately, there was one sanctuary, Mrs. Gable's classroom. Mrs. Gable, a gentle and observant third-grade teacher, was the only adult who truly saw the girl's pain. She had immense love for the child and went out of her way to protect her. She would let the girl eat lunch in her quiet classroom, a peaceful haven where she didn't have to deal with the daily torrent of abuse. Because the little girl loved to draw, Mrs. Gable would often let her use the large, clean whiteboard, filling the space with intricate, beautiful scenes, a silent contrast to the chaos outside. Mrs. Gable's favorite color, the color she used for grading and drawing, was always red. One day, the routine changed irrevocably. Mrs. Gable, after decades of teaching, announced she was retiring. On her last day, she called the girl over. As a final, cherished gift, the teacher presented the girl with a brand new pack of high-quality markers, carefully pulling out the thick, vivid red marker and placing it right on top. "Keep drawing," Mrs. Gable told her with a sad smile. "And remember where you belong." With the teacher gone, the girl's sanctuary vanished. Now, the kid had literally nowhere to go at lunch. She kept getting bullied and bullied. The attacks intensified now that her single protector was gone. Her isolation was complete, replaced by a deep, simmering resentment. Then, the true terror began. One Tuesday afternoon, a boy, one of the girl's primary tormentors, went missing from the school grounds. Nobody saw him leave. Nobody heard a struggle. He simply vanished. The initial alarm was loud, but it quickly faded into hushed concern as the town searched fruitlessly. But over the next few months, the pattern became undeniable. A child went missing every single month, always around the third week, always without a trace. The town, once so secure, was gripped by paranoia. Parents wouldn't let their kids out of sight. The police were baffled. There were no witnesses, no ransom notes, and no suspects. Nobody knew why this was happening or who was responsible. The school became a haunted, fearful place. The terrifying truth finally began to surface when the school janitor, a man named Mr. Hemlock, noticed a disturbing smell. It was a thick, sickly sweet odor that grew stronger every day, seemingly coming from an old and used storage shed behind the gymnasium. Hesitantly, Mr. Hemlock used his master key and opened a rusty door. The sight inside was horrific. Inside the shed were the bodies of all the children that had gone missing over the past months, stacked haphazardly in the darkness. The discovery sent shock waves of pure, unadulterated terror through the small town. As investigators processed the grim scene, they made an unsettling discovery. Every single victim had a bizarre, identical marking, a distinct, fresh mark made with a red marker on their arms. Nobody could figure out why the killer used the red mark. Was it a ritual? A calling card? The baffled police were stumped. But one person understood: the bullied girl. The red marker was the killer's way of grading the bullying, a cruel parallel to Mrs. Gable's old pen. The girl knew because she hadn't just endured the bullying, she had taken it over. The only person who knew the mark's meaning was the person now using it on her own victims, marking them for failure. The killer's identity remained the town's darkest secret, whispered only when a child found a shocking red mark on their skin.